Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're going to have a look at the ECMWF extended model for today's second video with a USA focus. So this is the extended USA forecast. I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that first video release today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. And we'll be live streaming at 6 PM. We're going to live stream our 10 to 14 dayer. So I shall see you then. We'll have a chat and we'll do everything we were doing regular 10 to 14 day live stream. We will include the latest update from the ECMWF season model as well in that live stream. So it's going to be epic. I shall see a little bit later on at 6 o'clock. But we're going to do the extended USA forecast now. So this is the week 1. 500 millibar height anomaly taking us through the week. We're currently in the 4th to the 11th of September. And we can see that we've got an area of above average heights here through Northern America back up into Canada. A trough of below average heights, low pressure from the Pacific into the far northwest of America. And then we've still got this hot ridge down across the southern, southwestern parts of the states. It's been an omnipresent feature throughout most of the summer. That's where the hottest temperatures are in the weekend, the week currently in. So we see widespread temperatures there from Texas back into the southwestern portion of the states, between 6 and 10 degrees above average. Really hot still down across those southern states. Also very warm to hot in the north and the northeast as well. Significantly above average temperatures there. Widely 3 to 6 degrees, 1 or 2 places, 6 to 10, etc. Much of the Midwest through to the east. It's looking pretty warm too. Out west, it is cooler. So from the Pacific West Coast to the Rockies, generally looking cooler than average. Again, particularly up in the northwest, where we have that trough of low pressure. And precipitation looks like this. Of course, where we've got that ridge down the south, it's very dry. It has been throughout the summer. Must have been a real drought that you've had down there across those southern parts of America, particularly like Texas, you know, back to Oklahoma, Arizona, those sort of states. Just been continuous areas of high pressure there. And also in the southeast corner, there's been a lot of high pressure through there as well, despite the hurricane that we had last week. Generally, it has been pretty dry across those southeastern states too. Further northwards, it's a little bit more unsettled. So in the northeastern corner, I would assume much of this from the Great Lakes up towards the northeast could be thunderstorm, given the extent of the temperature being warmer than average. And then out in the west, it does look rather wetter through there in some of those northern and northwestern states too. Overall, bit of a north-south split precipitation. Much of the south looking dry, large portions of the north looking relatively wet. Week 2 will be the 11th to the 18th of September, and it's looking like this. Again, we have the above average heights, high pressure from the far North America back into Canada, a trough of low pressure into the northeast, and a ridge down in the southwestern part of the states once again. The temperature anomaly is looking very warm or hot across the southern parts of America from Mexico up into those far southern states. Maybe not quite as hot as is this week, but so still very hot there across those southern states. Although most parts of America are actually cooling down next week. So we see much of the Midwest and up into the east of the northeast actually going cooler than average. So that is a little bit of a change on what we've had recently. Definite cool down, something a little bit more autumnal or perhaps fall-like through there. Out to the northwest, it looks a little bit wetter through there once more. And precipitation looks like that. So western regions from the west coast to the Rockies looking drier than normal, a little bit of a change. The central part of America, I mean towards the Midwest, starting to look wetter than average. Again, that's a little bit of change on what we've had recently. And so that does extend down into some of the southern states actually. So that's quite a significant change. Maybe we'll start seeing some useful rains turning up across some of those more southern states where it must be very parched. Up to the northeast around the Great Lakes, looks dry but average there. The east coast might be a little bit wetter. This could be a hurricane or something that one is picking up on, a swathe of wetter weather going in that direction through the Atlantic off the eastern seaboard. That could be one to watch. So the east coast there next week. Week 3 will be the 18th to the 25th of September. Weakening signals, but overall above average heights sitting across much of Canada and into the far north of America. Temperatures generally warming up a little bit, so it's a bit on the cooler side in the far west and southwest, and perhaps towards the east coast as well, but otherwise average to slightly above average temperatures there through most parts of America. The signal is weakening though. Precipitation again looks like that, so we've got some wet weather again just to the east of the Rockies in towards the central parts of America. Drier than average down here in the southwest, and possibly a bit on wet side towards the east coast. Could that be some sort of tropical system, you know, running up the eastern seaboard? Again, that could be something to watch as we go through second half of September. It's a long way off though for like the season well to be picking up on that kind of development, I have to say, so probably not. Week 4 will be the 25th September to 2nd of October, still with that ridge sitting across much of Canada and into the north of America. There is a trough of low out towards the far northwest as well. As far as the temperature for week 4 is concerned, average to above in many areas from the west coast right the way to the east coast. Again, the southern but also northern states are looking quite warm. Perhaps a little bit on the cooler side towards the far west and southwest, and as far as precipitation is concerned, gradually turning more unsettled as well. So wet in the northwest, wet into the central parts of America too. So it looks like things are gradually turning a little bit more unsettled. Again, we see some of those southern states where it has been so very, very dry, from like Texas, for example, back towards the maybe Oklahoma, something like that, where it has been so dry through this summer. Just maybe hints that we've got some useful autumnal rains beginning to start getting going here as we go through the course of this September. Week 5 will be the 2nd to the 9th of October, with higher pressure in the far north and northeastern part of America and back into Canada. Largely average to above with temperature anomaly. And a little bit on the west side through the central states. But I have to say the signal is weakening now, as it usually does as we go further and further out. Then lastly, week 6 will be the night 16th of October. And I'm just going to put in a question mark there, I think, because it's not particularly clear what's happening. And to start from 500, a bit of a height, perspective. And so as temperatures are concerned, so a bit on the wet side, a little bit warmer now, I should say, in the east. Otherwise, average is slightly above elsewhere. And precipitation, lastly, no signal. We're definitely losing a signal further out we're going. So, yeah, we're starting off, of course, very hot and dry down across those southern and also northeastern states for the weekend. It looks as though changes will be taking place through the rest of this September to something cooler and something a little bit more unsettled, and down across those parts states where it must have been so very, very hot and dry through the summer. It looks as though, especially into the second half of September, we might start to get some useful rains going. Maybe the chance of some significant rain, you know, to cool things down and to start watering the parched grounds. We shall see. Remember, any forecast beyond 5-7 days comes with big headwinds and large pinches of start attack, so it's only a snapshot of what model is showing today. Could look different when we look at this again for next week's Extended USA forecast. If you've enjoyed the forecast, please like, share, subscribe, and you show everybody to do about, and we'll be back next week with another one. We'll be live streaming at 6 p.m. this evening. We'll be live streaming at 10 to 14 day. We're going to show you ECMWF seasonal model with that as well. So I shall see you later on at 6. But for this one, that is all for now. And thanks so much.